So let's look first of all at the church and state relationship. The outcome of the Reformation was increased power for the English crown, where in the past the king had considerable influence over the church. Now the king, first of all, as supreme head under Henry and Edward, and then as supreme governor under Elizabeth, had control from the top down of what happened in the church. Similarly, that gave an accession of financial strength to the crown, because the crown was in a position, first of all, to confiscate monastic land and then to tax the income of the church very strictly. It provided a more effective means of propaganda for the state, because the king or queen was able to tune the pulpits to determine what was preached, what was read out, even what and who was prayed for in church, and that clearly gave rulers a very effective way of speaking directly to the minds and the consciences of their subjects. But that church-state relationship also opened up a role for Parliament, because the best way that Henry VIII could find to persuade his subjects to go along with the great changes that he was initiating was to say that they had all agreed to them already, because Parliament had agreed to them. That meant that when Edward VI's regime wanted to take those changes further, they had to use Parliament. When Mary wanted to reverse them, she had to use Parliament. And when Elizabeth wanted to put them back again, she had to use Parliament. And that meant that by the end of Elizabeth's reign, it was clearly established that major religious change in England should be carried out through Parliament, to the extent that people in Elizabethan parliaments who wanted to try to push the Queen into further religious change found it natural to try to use agitation in Parliament as the way to do that. So there's an increasing power for the state through its takeover of the church, but there are also tensions within the state between the monarch and people using Parliament, potentially, which might complicate that situation.